So I will stop a little my video because it's better. So as you mentioned, I am a project manager of the FACSAT 2 and a program manager of the Space FACSAT program. So today I will talk about this space program named FACSAT. This is a science and technology initiative from Colombian Air Force. And really that we have three mainly objectives. That the first one is that exactly to develop an in-house satellite manufacturing capability to promote the national industry and increase our institutional cooperation in Colombia. And the second one is really increase this awareness of the space culture in Colombia to keep really in a program sustainable. And the third one is to strengthen an international cooperation related with the space development. So you can see in the right side on a table, let me check here, yeah. In the table, the different or the activities, the main activities running during a mission design. So if you can recognize the FACSAT 1 was our first satellite launch in the 2018. And our proposal in this was to have an experience, and we participate almost in the registration of this satellite and the frequency allocation. And also we are now in the operation of this satellite. But in the second satellite, that is the name is FACSAT 2, that is actually running this project, we focus into getting more skills to be autonomous for the FACSAT 3. And in FACSAT 2, we are working as a project manager, co-designing and co-develop the FACSAT 2, and involving also as assistant engineers in the project of the FACSAT. Also, our people was working in assembly and integration and validation of this nano satellite. We really did all the process of the registration and the frequency allocation, and we redid the contract with the broker to put the satellite in Falcon 9 in Transporting 7, and also participate in a launch campaign, and we will be responsible of the operations. So just a summary, what is really our intention? If you can recognize the pyramid of the space technology, we are now in the second step as operators, but we want to get in the middle time to be in the third step, be part of the satellite manufacturing in Colombia. So to this Colombian Air Force strategy based on 4 components. The first one is a legal topic regarding to the national regulations and a specific compass that is a political or policies in the space. Also in our strategy and obviously in the standards and regulation to manufacture and CubeSats. And in the second component, we have the infrastructure. What is the facilities and the technological components that we have to create here to really develop satellites. And the third one is the human talent. So we have a transfer of knowledge program. We create agreements with universities to develop other space missions as a Leopard with the 4 universities. And also we involve joint researchers and masters and PhD interteams. And the fourth one is that the component that I want to describe more in detail is about the design of this platform, FACSAT, and how we'll be involved in the operations, and what is the main object about the software development, and what is the scopes in the artificial intelligence. So just to summary about what is the ecosystem in Colombia. This is our proposal to join all of these actors. Initially, of course, the civil society, all of the professionals around of the country with the skills and the intention to be part of this process of the space race, but also the academy. We are running projects actually, and we have people studying in different universities and technology institutions, and also we participate as in alliance with Sonia University to get to participate in calls and getting funds to create this process. The third one is obviously the government. Unfortunately, we don't have a space governmental agency, but we have the commission, Colombian Space Commission, that joins the ministers of Colombia and the principal institutions and public with as main actors, user of data and space. The fourth one is the industry. We got a sponsor with Ecopetrol, did some oil company in Colombia, the main oil company, to support FACSAT 2. We involve the cluster of our industry. The cluster is Aeropacific in here in Valle del Cauca, and all of the different companies that be part of this process with the Colombian Air Force. And in defense, as you know, I am obviously military, and with Colombian Air Force, we have agreements with some other industry of the defense area, as a SIAC and Codaltec, to create this ecosystem. So in terms of the component of the facilities, just I want to highlight the last year we launched this new space, that is a Space Operations Center with an S-expand antenna, and with our specific command and control with a multi-domain equipments and technology. And also we are now building this capability for assembly, integration, and tests. It's facilities to be ready, I hope, in 2026 for tests until up 100 kilograms. We will have clean rooms of ISO 8, ISO 7, with equipment to test all of the main process in a validation of a satellite. And our intention is exactly to involve all people, industry, academia, and state, to use these facilities to develop these components in Colombia. And talking about the human talent on how to really create appropriate knowledge. So we have a strategy that we did an agreement with the Gamma Space, that is a company from Denmark, expert in doing satellites. So, and they propose on the job of training to involve our people and to learn how to really get this to really develop an reliable assessed, and that is now we are running. And also we teach, or we are perform more than courses for more than 400 people, and we join people or students in undergraduate of different universities, and masters and doctoral students are working in our research center. And finally, or as a summary, we have more than 80 research associated with the different projects, more than 30 professionals working, more than 20 local companies as suppliers. And during these 4 or 5 years, we have in account 40 internships working in the space projects. I really want to highlight these slides. It's very beautiful process, as was our timeline of the FACSAT program. So you can see that in the first step, the FACSAT 1, when we launched in November 28th, the FACSAT 1, and then how we are moving and creating more capabilities. For example, regarding of we test a JAGI antenna in 2020 in Antarctic, And then we launched the Space Operations Center, and now we will launch the FACSAT 2. And our intention is that in the medium term, develop FACSAT 3, that will be a constellation, and one of these or two of these satellites will be manufactured in here in Colombia. And our plan is in 2030 have a ground segment in Antarctic, in our permanent base of Colombia that we hope to have in this period. So quickly summary, FACSAT 1. FACSAT 1 is a nano satellite of a 3-unit launched 4 years ago. We are captured more than 3,600 about image, download more than 150 image, and cover about 17% of the territory. But really the important, this is the achievements with this FACSAT 1. And the first one of FACSAT 1 is that we are really create a doctrine of the use and a satellite. And the second one is the learning lessons we reach with this process. Our people involved in FACSAT 2 knows what really we want of one satellite. And the third one is that very important is how to use this data, how to use this image getting of one satellite. So now you can see in this left side an algorithm running of artificial intelligence for post-processing data, and now it's a prototype used by our people in Colombian Air Force to detect open mining. Open mining here is a huge damage of our ecosystem when it's illegal. And with these algorithms, we detect heavy equipments and ground remotion, pools of sulfur, and it's very interesting because we got more than 80% of accuracy. And this is leading by one of our PhD student or candidate in the research center. She, with her team, needed to use or improve the amount of data. So she used the data augmentation, and also she needs to increase the resolution. So improve also super resolution techniques. Now talking about the FACSAT 2. FACSAT 2, maybe as I mentioned, will be launched in the next April from Vandenberg with the Falcon 9 Transport 7. So it's a nanosatellite of 6 units with 2 payloads. The first one is in a camera, multi-escape. It's a multi-spectral camera, and the second one is a spectrometer to detect greenhouse gases, especially CO2 and methane. And our intention of the lifetime will be 5 years. So in this case, as I mentioned as well, is we co-design and co-develop this satellite. We participate in this training, learning how to really develop all the missions. We participate in the design of the mechanical components as brakes, calculating the orbits, designing the harnesses, learning how to manage all the software, the flight software, and we got many achievements of this process, but I want to highlight just one of this. The first one is that really we be active in the choosing the payloads, what kind of payloads we need, even the spectrometer, and performing the tests of these payloads. The second one is this interface PCB to create a compatibility between the platform of FACSAT 2 with the spectrometer, August 2000, and we create the procedure to validate our qualification, space qualification, as a thermal cycling, as a thermal stress, as our aggregation test. The other achievements is regarding of the software. The first one in this case is Kairos. Kairos is our mission control software customized for Colombian Air Force to control our FACSAT 2 and why not FACSAT 3. And the second one in this case, we really create an initiative for the payload data encryption with a software that was done by one of our guys in the center. Finally, we choose and define the architecture of the ground segment. Because you know that we as Colombian Air Force, we need to be operators of our satellites. So we calculate the link budget, what specific antenna we wanted and will use in the future. And we can see in the second picture, the lift of this antenna in the top of the building. And you can see here our end-to-end test between the engineering model of FACSAT 2 and with the ground segment. And finally, as a summary, I want to just highlight that Colombia has reached a substantial progress in the space race as an operator and designer. Our scientific activities carried out by Colombian Air Force with our allies contribute to building an autonomous capabilities. And finally, Colombia grows up in a space ecosystem to create competitiveness and bring future developments and innovations. So thank you very much. This is part of our team. I'm very proud of them, and just welcome to Colombian Air Force and our research aerospace technology center. Thank you very much.